Hey there, good afternoon, and welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show. This is a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're here on our Monday nights, look back at a classic rock album. It's a show I do every Monday where I take an album that's greater than 15 years old that I really like, and I talk about it. So this week I've chosen this album. Just in case. I made a mistake and bought it again. I thought I had the red Zenyatta Mondetta, but I did not. So now I have two copies of this. But it's okay. It's a great album. This is the newer one. I listened to it again last night. Fantastic stuff on this album. I can see why Rush liked these guys so much, being both trios. These are just more poppy, that's all. But the musicianship on here is pretty damn good, right? So this album was released on October the 2nd, 1979 on Surrey Sound, the Leatherhead at Surrey, UK. About 41, almost 42 minutes in length. A&M Records, and produced by Nigel Gray and the Police. And of course, this features Andy Summers on the guitar, Stuart Copeland on the drums and percussion, and Sting on the bass and lead vocals. A lot of really good stuff on this album. This is probably my favorite Police album, I have to say, without too much argument about it. It was my first one I ever owned. I still like it the best. Message in the Bottle, been in lots of movies. Just a real catchy tune, right? You know, what more can you say about it? It's just a real catchy tune. And the other song that, of course, is in that same vote is Walking on the Moon, another real catchy tune. Probably two of my favorite Police songs. But this album has a lot of other stuff here. Regatta De Blanc is a good song as well. It's Alright for You. It's alright for you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you. Yeah, great tune. Love that song. Bring on the Night. That's probably the most underrated song by the Police, Bring on the Night. It's such a cool track. It's got that kind of, I don't know how to describe it. It's got that kind of build-up feeling that you get as the guitar starts to build up and you're almost an anticipation, you know. Really cool tune. I think probably, like I said, probably the most underrated track. I'm going to go by the tracks here on the computer just because the writing on here is kind of dark and my eyes are not very good. That's not a very good combo, to be honest with you. Death Wish, it's one of those songs that I'm not as fond of. I don't dislike it. I just don't think about it. For me, it's pretty much forgettable. It's the only song on here that I feel that way about. Walking on the Moon, we've already talked about. On Any Other Day, yeah, this is a song by Stuart Copeland. I like it just the way the way they talk about somebody's everyday life, like it, and just turned it into a song. It's a fantastic tune. The Bed's Too Big Without You. This is the most reggae song on the album, I think. It's got a real reggae feel to it. Almost could be sung by a reggae artist. And I know Police took a bit of hit for being very poppy. Basically, they took reggae music, which is an island form of music, and North Americanized it, I guess is a good word to put it, or they and so they made hit singles out of using this type of music. Contact, another really cool track on this album. I like it a lot. Does Everyone Stare? Yes, another good track on here. And No Time Like This Time. So I mean, it's from top to bottom. This is a solid album. I mean, they really didn't have any bad albums, to be honest. Even some of the later stuff that was a little too poppy still were very good. This one, I love the color scheme on it as well, that kind of blue color. I think it doesn't glare as much with this. I don't know why. You'd think it would glare more. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just where you're holding it, right? Try it on this side again. That's a little bit better. It's a nice shot of them. It's hard to believe this is over 44 years ago already. Just unbelievable. Like, it just seems like yesterday. You know, and this one has a nice shot of the CD in it as well. This one's copy's a little bit different. But either way, I like both. I mean, I like the album, period. For those of you who are not familiar with the Police, they're kind of a pop band that took reggae music and incorporated into the new wave kind of pop sound of the early 1980s and late 1970s. More in the 80s than 70s, but they started a little bit earlier than some of the bands, and they were one of the big bands. They were a big band back then. I never got to see them. I almost got to see them once. But the other thing about this album too is that the guitar and the bass and the drums, although they kept at a low kind of poppy sound to them, and not as bombastic as you might get with prog bands or even with heavy metal bands, the instrumentation is still really good, and the album is really clear sounding for like 44 years ago. I think it's pretty good. The production's excellent here, and Sting is one of those perfect vocalists for the band, I think. Yeah, they just look like a bunch of young guys in their glory, eh? Yeah, they did well. 5 albums, did great, and then that was it. They shut the door. Didn't need any more, I guess. Already had the life they wanted, and they didn't get dragged down the rabbit hole, I guess, as some bands do. But I've always enjoyed their discography, and this, of course, is my favorite of their albums. So anyways, there you have it. Monday night, look back at a classic rock album featuring the Police and their album Regatta De Blanc. I hope you get a chance to listen to it. If you do, let me know how you feel about it. That'd be great. Anyways, I hope you have a good night. Please like and subscribe. It's much appreciated. And we'll be back next Monday with another look back at a classic rock album. Take care.